fucking moment. Yeah.
Staying at Nancy's Oswald's house.
So last night I did the acrylic on my right hand. I need to
Who's like short and like bouncy and this is like an odd guy.
zone 3 on one of the nails, but
This is the dude.
I'm happy. And now we're putting the tips on this one. So as we do these nails, I also wanted to talk to you guys about nail shape, because you know I've been doing nails for a few years now, but I've been working with clients for a little bit over a year now, and it's still amazing to me to this day how clients wear
He was like super gentle about
their little comfort tricks and hacks and things are actual like
my family was deeply Calvinistic.
law
My mom was like the black sheep of the family.
in the scheme of nails when you're the professional. And this is no shade to my clients. I love a lot of my clients.
In that country,
I love all my clients.
racial strife and people were doing some pretty terrible things.
However, some people are very particular to a fault, and because they have this vision in their head without really understanding what they're asking for, or without really understanding how you get to that point, they look at you as if you're incompetent. And they like to take a lot of time away from enjoying the service by guiding you through the service. And again, I understand that, you know, the girls are traumatized because the techs out here are ridiculous. Okay. As a working tech, the shit that I see, ridiculous. But at the same time, it's like finding a tech is trial and error, like finding a massage therapist, finding the right workout class, finding the right trainer, finding the right job, you know, like everything needs to be a right fit. Finding the right nanny for your kids, whatever, like it all has to be the right fit. And so I don't know why this one is not cooperating. I hate when that happens. So with that being said, you're not going to, and I get that it's not always the most convenient for you, but getting your nails done, as many techs say, is not a luxury. So it's like you can't be upset that you're not going to take the time to find the right fit. You can't be upset that you may not have the time to try and, you know, go to the next one if it doesn't work out, because you have things that need to be done, you have events to go to, you have people to see. You need your nails to look a certain way. And a lot of times when we're in those situations, we're not thinking about the preservation of our nails. We're not thinking about the health of our nails. We're not thinking about, well, can this be done? And are my nails in the correct state to do this service or what I'm asking for? We're not thinking about that shit. We're thinking about this, what I want my nails to look like, because right now they look a hot ass mess. And having your nails done like directly affects your mood. When your nails are done, it's like you instantly feel 10 times better. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're your hands. You can always see them. Whether you're grabbing something, you're talking, you're walking, you gotta go to the store, you're doing something in the house, like your hands are always there. You always see what they look like. And I think that's a part of, you know, the psychology of if you look good, You feel good. When you see these raggedy ass nails all the time, you're like, I feel like shit. I need to get my nails done. So I get it. But again, you're not the professional. So I present to you, baby, you do not know more than your tech. Nail shape edition. So first of all, we get a lot of clients, or I get a lot of clients rather, or I hear a lot of clients talking about, especially on their toes, oh, round shape. It makes me want to fucking scream. Or they'll be like, oh yeah, my podiatrist says. I doubt your podiatrist said that, baby. Unless you have some type of other nail disorder going on, some type of other
I hated wearing my sash at the beginning. I hated it. I was like, what is this? It doesn't match my outfit. It's uncomfortable. It didn't mean anything.
What's the word? Disfigurement.
Coach, yellow sash.
Something like that.
Went up the straight path and
They're not going to say that because it's not true. Round nails, especially on your toes, do not prevent ingrown toenails. They cause ingrown toenails.
Getting to Proctor was the first thing in my life
Like,
I really earned. And it wasn't just about my growth. It was so rewarding to share it with people.
it's crazy to me because like one of the first things that you learn in school is that, you know, the way that you the process from start to finish of how you should check the nail, trim the nail, shape the nail, clean the nail, prep the nail, massage depending on if you're doing a regular polish service or if you're doing a nail enhancement service, and if they have any add-ons, and then actually applying the polish. If you're a runner, or you just happen to cause a lot of friction to your toes, it can cause the little hangnails on the top of your skin, or it could actually cause loss of toenail. Okay, so that makes sense that the best way to prevent those issues, especially forcing the toenail to squeeze and compress and bend, causing it to grow inside of your skin because it has nowhere else to go, because of the constant compression and the shape of the shoes and the pressure from the shoes and walking. You keep them short and straight across. Why? Because clear corners in a nail prevent corners from growing underneath, right? So if you did not know, if you don't have clear corners in your nails, what happens is the corners attempt to grow in other spaces because they are not where they're supposed to be. There should be a corner, there should be a corner here, and there should be a corner here, especially on your toes. If that corner is rounded, then it's going to begin to grow underneath into the skin, because it's not on the side of the nail where it should be. It is now going down here into the skin, especially on toes, because we wear shoes and we walk, which compresses our feet.
I never actually did really resonate with the word ethics or ethical mission.
Now, another thing that causes ingrown nails, which a lot of people, especially techs, tend to forget, especially because we're taught to cut the toes short and straight across, they cut them too short. So when you cut the toes too short, you're exposing a lot of skin. And the thing about toes, because of the shoes, people don't realize that skin buildup, all the extra cuticles, all those calluses on top of the nail is for protection of the nail. Compression, pressure, friction, it all has effects on your toenails. And so the body's way of defending that is building up that layer of thick skin, or allowing the skin to come over top of the nail, which also is going to happen because now so much of the skin is exposed.
The ethical mission that I did resonate with was this mission of helping people integrate emotional reactions so that they could live their best life.
When you're telling your tech, oh yeah, it makes it prevents my ingrowns from coming in. No, it directly causes them from coming in. And I know some people prefer a more rounded shape because they think it's more elegant, and it does. It elongates the appearance of the nail. Some people feel like their hands are short or they have a wide nail bed, and so they don't like that wide and stubby look. They would prefer to have something, again, more elongated, more elegant, more narrow, and thin. Me, I'm a black bitch from PG County. I like me a nice square shape, and I'm also a nail tech, so I understand my wider nail bed, which also means, if you didn't know, I need full well nail tips. The girls with wide nail beds, make sure you ask your nail techs if they have full well, because the girls are lazy and they don't like blending. I'm not blending because these are my nails, so if they get fucked up, that is my problem. But on a client, I would blend this part of the tip in until it looked like it was coming out of the nail, and that just helps prevent breakage, cracking, and helps with a more even overlay with the acrylic. So again, I understand it's an aesthetic preference, but if you have feet, your toes should be straight across, not even necessarily square. And again, some people like to add the acrylic and the tips to their toes. Some people like to keep them a certain length so that they can make them perfectly square. But if your toenails are too long, you are also allowing room for ingrown toenails, curvature, other disfigurements, because the nail has nowhere else to go, especially because it spends majority of its time compressed in your shoe. The toe parts of shoes, and that's why a lot of times when we used to go get our shoes like measured by the person in the store, they would check the top for the toe room, because if there's not enough room for the toes, all of that is being pressed on by the shoe, and that is causing damage to your nail. Ingrowns are not just whatever, they hurt, they can become infected, they're very painful at certain points in time, they're ugly, like nobody wants an ingrown. So, and a lot of people don't know how to remove them, which further, increases the probability for infection and all kinds of other bullshit. And then you gotta go see your podiatrist, and now you got other things wrong with your feet, your toe may, the nail shape may be completely fucked up forever now because the person was just cutting and not knowing what the fuck they was doing. There can just be a whole bunch of unnecessary issues that you don't have to deal with. So if you can prevent them by maintaining your toenail health outside of your pedicures, however often you get them, more chance that you're not going to have them, So no, baby, your round nail shape is not preventing your ingrowns. It's actually causing it. And also your a little bit too long toenails is not preventing them from being too short, preventing you from getting extra cuticle skin, preventing you from getting ingrowns, because now they're too long and now they're being forced into the skin when you're in shoes, when you're walking around, when you're running, when you're wearing heels, when you have tights and socks on inside of your shoes. Like some of us like to wear shoes that are a little bit too tight because those are our favorite pair. Like, especially if you have wide feet. A lot of shoes are not made for wide foot bitches. They're just not. You gotta find your 7W, and sometimes they ugly, and then the style that you do like ain't no wides available. You know, this world, majority of these manufacturers make stuff for narrow, tall, thin people. And everybody not like that. Even if you're thin or petite, you could be short and a little bit stubby because your limbs are shorter. You know, you could be tall, but you can be a little thicker, a little wider. Like, everyone's body shape is different. So, you know, us wide foot ass bitches be wearing shoes that's too narrow for our feet sometimes. Especially because we didn't want to walk around with the size up, because if it was uncomfortable with the clown shoe flopping around while you're trying to be cute.
This was something that it was in my heart.
Moving on to the fingernails, okay? As I was saying earlier, nail beds has a lot to do with the shape of your nail. So, people who have a more narrow nail bed tend to be able to grow a more rounded shaped nail. Why? Because our nails already have a natural curvature to them. If you know anything about natural nail shapes, it definitely has a clear corner on it with roundedness on the top. Why are you beating me up? Now, when it comes to the best nail shape to prevent breakage, it's definitely going to be a round shape or a rounded square shape. Almond, oval, they can be a little bit too narrow, but the reason why round is the optimum shape to prevent nail breakage is because when you do have clear corners on your hands, because we use our hands and they are not covered, so they're constantly being affected by the elements. They're getting dried out by washing, they're getting dried out from whatever products, and whatever it is that we're using, they get snagged on things, our hair, doing activities can cause stress to the nail. And that square shape also, because of the corners, there is more stress put onto the free edge of your nail, okay? And when there's more stress without the strength there or the stability there, there's more potential for breakage. So the roundedness gives it a little bit more stability. It not prevents, but you know, rather I can't think of what I'm trying to say because I'm trying to do too many things at once. I gotta work. It also, yeah, I guess it's a preventative measure for the corners getting caught on things, snagging, breaking, cracking, so on and so forth. But I do acrylic anyway. These are not my natural nails, and I really just love a typical classic curved square shape. That's just always been my thing ever since I first started getting my nails done. I think I was like 12 or 13 when my father was like, yeah, you can get some acrylics. I was like,
The very first women's indigenous training in 2006. There's about 40 to 50 women in that training. I loved it. I loved
but yeah, so a lot of people tend to come in and they're like, yeah, I want them short and round. Now, short and round is the best way to keep your nails without breakage and damage, especially, again, because you don't have those corners and the free edge is more stable. The longer the free edge is, the less stability when putting stress onto the nail, which leads to possible breakage, okay? And again, we use products, we wash our hands, so they're dry, they don't have as much of the proper nutrients that they need in our cuticle areas, and that keratin gets brittle, it cracks, it breaks. Time is it? I don't know what time it is, but you cannot you cannot have like extremely short nails where there is basically no free edge, and I can see the hyponychium just about.
There's a center
that
in Albany. There's a center in Saratoga Springs. And
little piece, chunk, whatever of skin right under the nail. When the free edge starts to grow, you can see it more. Some people have longer hyponychiums just naturally. So again, that's why as a nail tech, you have to be mindful of not cutting someone's nails too short, because you can actually cut that skin, and it will bleed. Because it's literally like the very tip of their finger. And it's a pretty nice chunk of skin, especially if someone has longer hyponychium. So
It has nothing but
you can't just like, yeah, short and round, because first of all, you could have a wider nail plate. So the round look that you are hoping to achieve more than likely is not going to come out.
if I had a couple more teams like this, and now I could change the entire world.
You're also making it more difficult to shape the nail, because if there is no nail on the free edge, there's only but so much shaping that can be done before you start to get into the skin, that if it's filed too much, too closely, you're gonna cause a burn, a paper cut, something of that nature. And you shouldn't be sawing when you file anyway. One direction prevents burning and cutting and things of that nature. So you need to have some free edge. And the thing about it is that people have this belief, like, if they're too long, baby, you barely have a free edge. It is less than 0.2 of an inch long, like, and then it's going to be shortened when I shape your nail. So they're going to be short and round. They're going to be. They don't need to be cut. They don't need to be trimmed. You're setting yourself up for failure. Also, if you do have a wider nail plate and you're asking for round nails, you should not ask for a trim if your nails are already short, because the wider your nail plate is, the more square your nail is going to appear. Some people, again, naturally grow those very elongated nails because they have narrow nail plates. Thin, it grows thin. Wide, it grows wide. Makes sense.
I want to get it back. Bonnie got there first.
Okay.
It took me longer.
So yeah, that was just a little few tidbits that I wanted to give you guys about nail shape, because a lot of, again, clients are very particular, and I understand, because you're trying to achieve a certain look. You have to look at your nails all the time while also having to use your hands all day, every day. You want them to be functional. You want them to be attractive. You want them to be pleasing to your eye. You want to feel good about having your nails done. You want to feel confident. You want to feel pretty. It really does help boost your mood, but you also need to be mindful of what you're asking for. You know, the same way some girls will go into the hair salon and be like, this is the hairstyle I want, when the model has like 23 inches of hair and they only have 10. You know, it's only but so much that is going to look like what you want it to look, because length, and the natural structure of your nail have a lot to do with what you can do with the shape. And on your feet, short, straight across. Not too short, but short and straight across, because again, if there are no clear corners, the clear corners are going to find a place to grow, and they're going to grow inside the skin, because that corner is no longer at the edge of your nail. It has now been shaped down and into the side of the nail. Just some tips, because you don't know more than your nail tech. Love you guys.